gold, golden light, and frequency of gold. Those are constant questions which I got from you, and thank you very, very much, because when we started our channel, I asked you to send me your questions, your predicaments in dowsing, things which you stumble upon and you cannot solve or you have hard time dealing with in dowsing. And I'm very grateful because I really received a lot of those questions, and therefore majority of those videos are based on the questions which you asked. Recently, my friend Nancy from Massachusetts wrote me an email asking how it really is with this gold light and frequency of gold. Is it, because she attended my courses, is it really possible for just an object made of any material to release frequency of gold, or it has to be material gold to release frequency of gold? Well, I grouped here a few products to show you how it works. There is a concept of golden cut, or golden proportion, or golden mean, depends what vocabulary is closer to your belief system, which is not very well known. It comes back kind of recently, just because sacred geometry becomes more and more popular right now, and people are interested in it. But over the centuries, over majority of 20th century, or rather Pisces era, it was applied and stayed alive and known only in architecture. Now, for the last 10-15 years, we learn how to use this principle of sacred geometry to create dowsing tools. Those are pendulums which are able to release frequency of gold regardless of material they are made of. And majority of golden light pendulums are made of brass, as any other pendulum. Just the proportions and the length and so on are based on the principles of golden cut. So let's see how it will show itself, present itself on different products. So let's say I will take just a regular brooch, which is this. It's a gold-plated object, all right? I will put it here and I will use a pendulum, golden hue pendulum, which means a pendulum which releases frequency of gold. And I will simply hold it over without requesting anything. That's what is called intuitive dowsing. You just hold the pendulum over the object, and you wait for response, which means the pendulum will look for compatibility with what is below, which means I'm radiating specific type of energy. Show me your vibration and I will tell you if we are compatible or not. So it does not show anything. This movement back and forth in intuitive dowsing means wait, I'm checking. And it checks and cannot find the energy level on which the pendulum operates. Here we have another brooch, also gold plated, and it cannot find it. Well, let's take a pendant which is made of gold, and this is King Solomon's seal. And you see right away it recognizes it. Now the speed on which it operates will show us how much this frequency is released from that object. Of course, it's made of gold, so no wonder it releases frequency of gold. let's look at the shape which is called flower of life. This is flower of life made of gold. It recognizes it right away and works very fast. This is, let's put it aside, this is the same shape, exactly the same, made of silver. And it rotates equally strong just because it's not a metal. It's a shape which radiates. Flower of light, as you know, is based on Vesica Pisces, which is one of the highest shape from sacred geometry, shapes radiating frequency of gold. Now, let me show you. This is a pendulum which is called Isis 2.7, which means very small, tiny Isis, and I'm sorry if you will not see it very precisely, but I have the same Isis made as a brooch. It's not that I use it as a pendulum, but I use it as a pendant sometimes when I teach about those pendulums. So I will put them next to each other, and I will put my pendulum inside, and it shows me, without asking any question, it shows me that they are compatible with each other, which means they are of the same shape, and therefore they are of this same nature. So now let me hold the pendulum over one and the other golden light pendulum in order to find out how they vibrate. So this pendulum has no gold. This pendulum has a gold. This is made of brass. This one is made of gold. Now, if we will think about this pendulum, Super Isis 16, which is made of brass, but releases frequency of gold, just because it is made on those principles. This is Super Isis 11, which theoretically works on white light, and it doesn't recognize it. But if I will take other pendulum, this is Renova, which operates on white light, and I will put it over this, it recognizes itself, which means that this pendulum releases white light. When I hold it here, it does not recognize it. Why? Because white light is a lower frequency than golden light, and therefore it is not, the pendulum releasing white light is not able to elevate their vibration to the point that it will recognize the frequency of gold. So, summarizing, everything what is built on sacred geometry, aluminum pendulum, Atlantis aluminum and Atlantis brass, when I will take golden hue, which recognizes and vibrates frequency of gold, we have it here and we have it here. If I will take a spiral, this is a shell set in silver, and I will put it here, and it releases frequency of gold because majority of shells which contain the vortex, which are built based on vortex, are following Fibonacci system, therefore they will release the frequency of gold. Now, let's talk about Atlantis rings. My Atlantis ring is made of gold, but I have also Atlantis ring made of silver. they are compatible, and both of them radiate frequency of gold. The same will happen if we will have Atlantis neutralizer for homes and offices. It releases a strong vibration of gold just because it is made for very large areas. DNA spiral, it also works on a frequency of gold. And then again, if we will take gold plated units, let's see what will happen if we will deal with the objects which are just covered with gold. All right, so here is a shape. Let me put this aside so they will not influence each other. I have here the black background as an absence of colors. Black will make sure that those that we are researching only vibration of those objects. So the shape from Celtic tradition, triquetra and both of them are made of silver, but they are gold plated. And here it says no, and here it says no as well. But if I will take this one here, which is made of gold, and it is Om Mani Padme Hum, Tibetan system, Tibetan symbol, it recognizes gold. So why those two, however they are covered with gold, do not release the frequency of gold? It's all about proportions. Sacred geometry is based on proportions, talks about relation between sides and between shapes and so on, and it's fascinating part of this knowledge. So if the object is made of any other metal than gold, and you will cover it with small amount, with the thin layer of gold, the proportion between the amount of silver or brass or whatever metal is inside, in DNA spiral, for example, it's a copper plated with pure gold. So if majority of it, big majority, huge majority of it is other metal than gold, the vibration of this metal will override the vibration of thin letter of gold, which is put on the top of the object. And that's why we never have the same feeling and the same reaction of our energy field on the products or objects which we wear, which are made of gold plated, silver, copper, brass or whatever, and object which radiates gold. We often wear golden jewelry, which also serve us not only for, of course, aesthetic reason, but also to supply our energy field with the frequency of gold. If we don't have a properly done shapes which can vibrate frequency of gold, the other way is just simply wear something what is made of gold. Why gold? Well, the Aquarius age is an age of gold. It's a golden era. That's how it is called. However, predominant metal ruling this era is silver. But the symbol of Aquarius era is energy. So the 2000 years which we entered, well, a few years ago, let's say, we are still not far into Aquarius age, we enter the era which will be about going higher from the white light, which belonged to the era of Pisces, into higher frequency as a humans, as a planet, as animals, and all life force on this planet, to the frequency of gold. We will evolve further, and we will get to the higher level of our existence and our spiritual development. And that's why frequency of gold is quite important for us to be able to kind of surround ourselves with it and just emerge in this vibration and raise our own vibration, so we will be more and more compatible as we go deeper or farther into this fantastic era. We will also be more suitable or more compatible with predominant vibration, which just wakes up and will lead us to higher level of our spirituality. I hope I explained to you the principles of it, the difference between gold-plated object and golden objects, and what is the frequency of gold, because the frequency of gold was known to humanity for centuries. Traditional Chinese medicine used gold for centuries to rejuvenate skin, skeletal problems, and of course spiritual development, but just simply from the point of view of our physicality. In Chinese traditional medicine, people will actually consume the golden pills, which means pills which were covered by the leaves of gold, so they would absorb the gold, and this gold will radiate inside of them to fill their body with the frequency of gold. Today, in the era of energy, we have other abilities, our possibilities, and other objects to vibrate this. So if you have this fantastic frequency to you, so if you have a pendulum which radiates frequency of gold, you can just simply hold it over your hand and say, supply me, or supply my energetic system with the frequency of gold to the highest possible level for my highest good. And you wait until it stops. And because I said stop, let me repeat it again, because I could stop the pendulum. So I will repeat again. Supply my energy field with the frequency of gold to the highest possible level for my highest good. And again, to make sure, supply my energetic system with the frequency of gold to the highest possible level for my highest good. And when it stops, you are done. Not for a lifetime, of course, for time being. But then, if you have a tool which can supply you your place, your office, your workplace, or your recreational place, then you can always supply yourself with the frequency of gold. And then we can talk. I was talking about protecting your house on one of our videos, when I was talking about anchoring the energy in your house, specific energy. So if you raised the vibration of your house, and for example you use, let's say, Atlantis neutralizer or DNA spiral to anchor this energy in your house, which means the house is clear, and now you will hang something or put something what will hold this state of energy in your place, your house is really set. So If you will have any other question, dowsing related or spiritual development related, please send me an email, and on our website there is a contact us page, so you can contact me and I will do my best to answer your question and help you to solve your problems. Also, if you are interested, subscribe to our channel and you will be notified about every time when we will have new video released. And of course, visit our website and our Facebook page. Thank you very much. That's all for today, and stay with the frequency of God.